Welcome to Simple Systems. I'm Sandra. Let's create success together. With my simple strategies, you can grow your business.
Welcome back. Okay, today's explainer is an absolute game changer. If you have ever wanted to whip up those gorgeous, high-end luxury printables, but you just get totally bogged down by how long it takes to go from a basic idea to a finished product, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're unpacking the 5-minute luxury planner blueprint. We're going to break down exactly how you can bypass all that tedious drafting to create stunning, print-ready planners in literally minutes. Today, we're officially swapping that agonizing blank page for a structured prompt guide that's going to turn you into an instant creative director.
So ask yourself, are you wasting creative energy staring at a blank page? Honestly, for so many of us, the absolute most grueling, frustrating part of any project isn't the final execution, right? It's that agonizing standoff with a stark white screen. You know the feeling. You're staring at the page is staring right back at you, and it's just draining the exact energy you need to actually be creative. Starting a design from absolute scratch, it is a grueling pain. It really is.
But what if we completely eliminate that blank page? What if the time it takes to go from absolute zero to a fully print-ready, high-quality, luxury file was just 5 minutes? Seriously, just 5. We are going to completely shift the way you work so that producing a premium design isn't some multi-day ordeal anymore. It's a rapid 5-minute reality. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, the blank page dilemma. Second, becoming the creative director. Third, building the foundational blueprint. Fourth, fixing AI with Canva. And finally, flawless print execution. Let's get right into it.
Starting with Section 1, the blank page dilemma. Wasting creative energy.
Okay, so we really need to understand the trap of meticulous manual drafting. Look at the left side here, the manual drafts person. This is someone who starts from zero every single time, meticulously drafting layouts, literally reinventing the wheel. It's a massive, massive drain. When you insist on starting from scratch, you're honestly doing a huge disservice to your own creative potential. But on the right, we have the creative director. Now, this is the identity shift you have to make. A creative director doesn't draw every single line. Instead, they rely on structured prompt guides to curate high-end aesthetics on top of locked, really reliable frameworks. You direct the vision rather than laboring over all the underlying math.
Moving to Section 2, becoming the creative director, the paradigm shift.
This total paradigm shift requires you to basically stop burning daylight on structural math and basic concepts. It's all anchored in this concept called value engineering. As you can see, that means taking structural foundations and layering them with high-end, customized aesthetics that speak to luxury, but without the luxury time drain. I want you to really notice that emphasis on structural foundations. You aren't creating the structure from scratch anymore. True curation here is about value engineering your entire workflow using a very specific 3-resource blueprint, a structured prompt guide, an AI image generator, and Canva for your final curation.
Which brings us to Section 3, building the foundational blueprint. Select and inject.
So the absolutely crucial point here is establishing your base. If you want to produce premium products, consistency is your bedrock. Right here is an example of a really sophisticated baseline prompt for a journal cover. Create a high-resolution, printable gratitude journal cover page. Page size 8.5 by 11 inches, vertical, 300 dpi, print ready. Layout, centered, elegant composition with open breathing room. Check out that technical precision. 300 dpi is the absolute gold standard for print clarity. I mean, anything less and your luxury planner is just going to become a blurry mess. And the 8.5 by 11 inches ensures it scales perfectly to physical binders. The whole strategy here is that these structural instructions must remain completely untouched. This is your locked framework inside that structured prompt guide. Now, once that structure is totally locked in, that's when you inject your brand aesthetic. This is where the actual curation happens. Instead of using generic elements, you're just swapping out variable placeholder brackets. For example, let's say you define your color palette as sage and cream, and your decorative elements as watercolor leaves and soft arches. By just updating those specific variables inside your prompt guide and running the formula through whatever AI generator you prefer, you maintain all those perfect proportions from the locked framework, but you generate a completely distinct, really elevated aesthetic. You're basically engineering beauty without ever having to face a blank page.
All right, Section 4, fixing AI with Canva, the creative director's direct correction. Okay, we do have to address the elephant in the room here. AI is absolutely brilliant for the heavy lifting and making these gorgeous, soft watercolor textures. But its text generation? Yeah, it often looks like some sort of ancient alien language. You're almost certainly going to see garbled symbols or weird misspellings on the page. But remember, you are a creative director now. You don't scrap a masterpiece over a tiny typo, right? You value engineer it. So here's the exact correction sequence. Step 1, import your asset right into Canva. Step 2, mask the imperfection by placing a sleek little rectangle directly over that faulty AI text. Step 3, color match by eyedropping a color straight from the background so your new patch blends seamlessly into the paper texture. And step 4, overlay premium typography. You just use Canva's text tool to type out your crisp, properly spelled title, something like Living with Peace, using an elegant script or really high-end serif that matches your vision perfectly. Boom. You've just saved the asset, and honestly, you've probably elevated it. And finally, Section 5, Flawless Print Execution, the tangible conclusion.
Because let's be real, a luxury digital design is absolutely only as good as its physical, tangible execution. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is these are your non-negotiable export settings to ensure your digital masterpiece actually translates perfectly to paper. For file type, you want to select PDF print because that delivers the absolute crispest lines for physical production. For color profile, choose CMYK. Why? Well, screens emit light using RGB, right? But printers lay down actual physical ink. CMYK ensures the colors on your screen match the final physical product perfectly. For page sizing, always use actual size or borderless. You want to avoid that default fit to page setting because that's going to shrink those flawless margins you just locked in during the prompt phase. And lastly, print quality has to be set to maximum quality so you preserve all those delicate, soft watercolor gradients and fine textures you just generated.
The coolest part? Once you've mastered this plug-and-play framework, the scale is literally limitless. You can scale your entire collection effortlessly. By just tweaking a few key variables in those structured prompt guides, you can pivot right from an earthy minimalist goal tracker to, say, a super vibrant holiday worksheet, all while keeping that exact same premium structural integrity. You're basically building a custom design library at lightning speed. So, the manual drafting? It's over. That grueling pain of starting from zero is completely a thing of the past.
Into the
No more blank
chair.
pages for us.
So,
You now have the
this
blueprint
one
of value
question
and
to think about.
what will you direct today? Take these frameworks, start building out that custom design library, and I will see you in the next explainer.